Talking to you about pornography is honestly a little bit scary because so many men have such strong feelings about it. Some of you are going to disagree with what I'm about to say. Some of you might get defensive, but I'm going to tell you the truth anyway because this matters for your sexual health and your relationships. I'm Dr. Fiona Gray, your trusted men's health advisor. What I need you to understand is that every time you watch pornography, something is changing in your brain. Not just your preferences, your actual neural pathways. The sex you're seeing on screen isn't just unrealistic, it's rewiring how you experience real intimacy. And if you're in a relationship, this is probably already causing problems you haven't connected to porn use yet. Let me start by saying something that might be controversial. Pornography, in my opinion, is a result of a sexually repressed society. Human desire is absolutely a beautiful thing and nothing to be ashamed of. Sexual curiosity is normal. Sexual fantasies are normal. The problem isn't that you have desires. The problem is that pornography is terribly unrealistic, and it's shaping those desires in ways that disconnect you from actual human intimacy. Every single time you watch pornography, it's changing what your brain finds arousing. It's changing how you get off. It's changing how you want to have sex. It's even changing what you desire. And this happens because pornography creates a disconnection from the humanity of our sexuality. Real sex involves vulnerability, communication, imperfection, and genuine connection. Pornography removes all of that and replaces it with a performance that's been edited, scripted, and designed for visual stimulation, not emotional or physical connection. Think about what's actually happening in your brain when you watch. Your reward system is being flooded with dopamine in response to novelty and visual stimulation. But here's the critical part. Your brain starts associating arousal with screens, with that specific visual stimulus, with the speed and intensity of constant novelty. Over time, real sex with a real person can start to feel less stimulating by comparison. Not because real sex isn't good, but because your brain has been rewired to expect something completely different. This creates misunderstandings in relationships. It creates tension. It creates separation. You might find yourself less interested in intimacy with your partner, not because you're not attracted to her, but because your brain is expecting the hyperstimulation it gets from pornography. You might find yourself wanting her to perform in ways you've seen on screen, without understanding that what you're watching, there's almost no resemblance to how real women experience pleasure. The performers you're watching are working. They're performing for a camera. The positions are chosen for visual appeal, not for what actually feels good. The sounds are exaggerated. The timing is unrealistic. The anatomy is often surgically altered. And critically, there's no emotional connection, no negotiation, no communication. None of the things that make real sex actually satisfying for both people. What rarely gets discussed is how this affects your ability to be present during real intimacy. When you've trained your brain to get off to a screen, to constant visual novelty, to a specific kind of performance, it becomes harder to stay present with a real person. Your mind might wander. You might struggle to maintain arousal without that visual stimulation. You might find yourself trying to recreate scenes you've watched, rather than actually responding to the person in front of you. The dark corners of the internet take this even further. The more extreme content, the increasingly niche categories, the content that depicts scenarios that would be harmful or degrading in real life, this isn't about judgment. This is about understanding that when you consume content that depicts sex without consent, without respect, without humanity, it shapes your perception of what's acceptable. Even if you consciously know it's not real, your brain is still forming associations. What tends to fly under the radar is what's really driving pornography use for most men. The typical guy isn't watching because he's a sex addict or because he's deviant. He's watching because he's lonely. He's watching because he wants connection but doesn't know how to get it. He wants intimacy, but feels too vulnerable to pursue it. What you really hunger for deep down inside is the end of loneliness and a profound intimacy. Pornography promises to fill that void, but it never does. It can't, because it's not real connection. So where does that leave you? I'm not here to tell you that you're a bad person if you watch pornography. I'm not here to shame you, but I am here to tell you that if you want real intimacy, if you want satisfying sex, if you want a genuine connection with another person, pornography is working against you. It's training your brain to expect something that doesn't exist and to miss what's actually in front of you. The biggest thing I can leave you with about pornography is this: have an open-ended conversation. If you're in a relationship, talk to your partner about this honestly, not defensively, not with excuses, but with genuine curiosity about how it's affecting your intimacy together. Ask her how she feels about it. Listen to what she says without getting defensive. Share what you're struggling with. And if you're single, ask yourself honestly, is pornography helping you build the skills you need for real intimacy, or is it replacing that entirely? Is it making it easier or harder for you to connect with real people? Is it enhancing your sex life or substituting for one? We live in a world where pornography is everywhere. It's accessible, it's normalized. So we might as well choose to relate to it in the healthiest way possible. That means understanding what it's doing to you, being honest about how it's affecting your relationships, and making conscious choices about whether it's serving you or working against what you actually want. Real intimacy requires presence. It requires vulnerability. It requires seeing another person as a full human being, not a performance. And the more you train your brain on pornography, the harder all of that becomes. That's not a moral judgment. That's just neuroscience. If you found this perspective valuable, subscribe to the channel. Comment below and let me know. Has pornography affected your real-life intimacy? And if so, how? I'm not here to judge. I'm here to have an honest conversation. Thanks for being here.